And also, the QR codes provided on your ID cards would directly take you to the website of FEED 2026, where you can access the agenda and the details of all our delegates.
Often, the most powerful solutions are the simplest. Energy efficiency is one of those solutions, a quiet force unlocking more value, more productivity, and more well-being for all. 2025 was a year of recovery and acceleration. Global energy intensity is improving again, signaling renewed commitment to doubling efficiency progress by 2030. And in India, this shift is opening a powerful window of opportunity to lead the change for an energy secure and net zero nation.
Efficiency is a multiplier, delivering more development per unit of energy. In the fiscal year 2023 alone, India saved 50.8 million tons of oil equivalent. That's equal to the entire annual energy demand of Tamil Nadu. This avoided 9% of national energy consumption and unlocked 1.88 lakh crore rupees in savings, about 0.5% of India's GDP, and 307 million tons of CO2 emissions avoided. Efficiency underpins India's Atmanirbhar and Viksit Bharat vision. With constrained resources and a narrowing window for action, we cannot achieve energy security, economic strength, social progress, and climate resilience all together without making efficiency the key lever. This year, we steadily focused on what progress means for a Viksit Bharat. We are mapping India's buildings with India's first geospatial open building stack platform, making data available for climate-ready growth. We are reimagining cold chains to strengthen our food systems, reduce losses, and protect farmers' livelihoods. We are helping states lead with efficiency and working with MSMEs across Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, and beyond, cutting emissions, improving productivity, and securing India's energy future. We are advancing levers to affordable, efficient housing for all against a changing climate and opening green pathways for the next generation. And as India advances toward net zero, we are facilitating shared cooling systems, empowering demand response, and building an ecosystem that is quietly, relentlessly driving national goals of prosperity, resilience, and equity. The Global South is rising, and we are championing efficiency as our first fuel. We are pushing the world towards doubling the energy efficiency progress goal and also taking the lessons from India's own growth journey to the global level. Together, we are building an ecosystem of change. Our success is a shared journey. To our members, partners, and the AEEE team, thank you for your trust, collaboration, and resolve in 2025.
As we move from ambition to accelerated action, the success of the sustainable energy transition will rely on the ecosystems we enable. Powered by open data, strong governance, and aligned policies and innovation networks, these ecosystems will turn incremental progress into exponential change. Because efficiency is not optional, it is non-negotiable.
Distinguished guests, honorable ministers, policymakers, and leaders of industry, a very warm welcome to the sixth edition of the Forum on Energy Efficiency and Decarbonization, FEED 2026, organized by the Alliance for an Energy Efficient Economy. This year, we convene under the theme Energy Efficiency as the Engine of Viksit Bharat. As India moves towards its centennial vision of 2047, energy efficiency has transitioned from a supporting role to a critical national resource that will power our economic competitiveness and climate resilience. To formally commence the proceedings, I now invite our distinguished guests to kindly join us on stage for the lamp lighting ceremony. I would like to invite Shri Krishna Chandra Panigrahi, Mr. Sanjeev Bhatia, Dr. Satish Kumar, Dr. Richa Gautam, Ms. Usha Subramaniam, and Mr. Mike Umikar. Please join us on stage.
शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्परब्रह्म दीपज्योतिर्जनार्दनः दीपज्योतिर्परब्रह्म दीपज्योतिर्जनार्दनः दीपो हरतु मे पापम् सन्ध्यादीपनमोऽस्तुते ओ दीपब्रह्मरूपस्त्वं ज्योतिषां प्रभुरव्ययः ओ दीपब्रह्मरूपस्त्वं ज्योतिषां प्रभुरव्ययः आरोग्यं देहि पुत्रांश्च मतिं स्वच्छां हि मे सदा रवेरस्तं समारभ्य यावत् सूर्योदयो भवेत् रवेरस्तं समारभ्य यावत् सूर्योदयो भवेत् यस्य तिष्ठेत् गृहे दीपः
Thank you to our distinguished guests for formally inaugurating FEED 2026. It is my honor to now invite Dr. Satish, President and Executive Director, AEEE, to take over as the host for the inaugural session.
Hi, thank you, Vidyotma. Very warm welcome and good morning to everybody who have come for attending the FEED session, our flagship event at the Alliance for an Energy Efficient Economy. At the outset, let me extend a very, very warm welcome to all participants, including distinguished speakers, industry leaders, policymakers, sponsors, and our partners. A little bit about AEEE's work. At the Alliance for Energy Efficient Economy, our work consistently reinforces one message. Energy efficiency in India is no longer a peripheral conversation. It is increasingly recognized as a central pillar of economic growth, energy security, and climate action. As evidence of this, I want to mention that 1 unit of energy saved through energy efficiency is equivalent to about 3 to 4 units of fossil fuel powered electricity and 6 to 8 units of renewable powered electricity. According to BEE's impact assessment estimates, India is saving approximately 10% of its final energy consumption at the national level through energy efficiency actions, plans, and schemes. So the message is very clear that if India has to achieve our Honorable Prime Minister's 2070 net zero goals, energy efficiency and renewable energy must work together to reduce greenhouse gas emissions while growing India's economy. And India is showing leadership by announcing a target of 89 MTOE reduction through energy efficiency as part of its commitment to double the rate of energy efficiency in this decade. Over the past year, we have seen deeper policy engagement, stronger industry partnerships, innovative financing approaches, and a growing ecosystem focused on measurable and scalable impact. Our experience tells us that efficiency is not only about technology adoption, it is about systemic change enabled through data, dialogue, and collaboration. This national momentum is also clearly reflected in the Union Budget 2026, which has reinforced the government's commitment to clean energy, decentralized solutions, and low-carbon industrial transitions. Enhanced support for distributed solar, clean energy infrastructure, and emerging low-carbon technologies sends a strong signal. Efficiency and productivity are now core to India's growth, not add-ons. With a very clear vision for the future, AEEE is committed to its long-term goals of enabling 100 gigawatts of demand offset through energy efficiency, facilitating 1 lakh crores of green investments, and empowering 5 lakh green professionals to drive India's net zero ambition. Thank you to AEEE's members and partners for their invaluable contributions to this event. Across editions, FEED has transitioned from dialogue to action, becoming a strategic collaborative forum that connects diverse stakeholders to address India's most pressing energy challenges and explore opportunities towards an energy secure and resilient future. FEED, together with Energize and SDI, are the three flagship events that AEEE is well known for. And in its 6th iterations, FEED has engaged stakeholders from 1,400 and more organizations, drawing insights and directions from over 320 leading experts, and secured partnership from more than 43 sponsors and industry associations, reflecting its national relevance and its ability to convene the entire ecosystem. Opening the 6th edition of FEED, I am very grateful to all who are present here and those who believe in us and come together year after year for driving dialogue and action on energy efficiency and climate resilience. Our special thanks to our sponsors and partners for making FEED 2026 possible. Platinum sponsors ABB and Schneider Electric. Gold sponsors Grundfos. Silver sponsors Tabreed and Thermax. And session sponsor Carrier. And our knowledge partners Energy Efficiency Movement and Kazam. I would also like to thank organizations who have stepped forward in co-curating some of the thematic sessions, such as the Ashoka Center for People-Centric Energy Transition, CLASP, Indy3, and UNEP. I would like to conclude by reiterating AEEE's commitment to driving energy efficiency as the key to India's sustainable future by partnering with and supporting Ministry of Power and the Bureau of Energy Efficiency, who are spearheading energy efficiency within the country. I also call upon all the participants to actively contribute to the discussions and use of FEED platform to inspire change and innovation. I now invite Mr. Sanjeev Bhatia, Vice Chair of the Alliance for Energy Efficient Economy Executive Council, to deliver the welcome address. Please.
Namaste and good morning. Very warm welcome from my side as well to all the participants, distinguished speakers, industry leaders, policymakers, the sponsors, and of course, AEEE members. The global landscape, the energy landscape is rapidly changing, and India is at the forefront of this change. And for the next foreseeable future, we will remain a net importer of energy. But if we look at our NDCs, we look at the Viksit Bharat vision, then energy efficiency becomes a very core part of that for us to succeed in both of those goals. India's energy demand projected to grow 2.5 times in the next 2 decades. And therefore, our work here is not just a climate mandate. It's a national security and economic imperative. And because India will remain for many years in foreseeable future a net importer of energy, I think the national security perspective sometimes is overlooked, and it's actually very critical. And that's where energy efficiency has a very, very important role. India is witnessing rapid economic growth, urbanization, digital expansion, and rising energy consumption. Digital, for example, is now driving the creation of several large data centers, and we know that data centers are energy guzzlers in many ways. Now, how we meet this demand will define India's competitiveness and resilience for decades to come. Energy efficiency is increasingly recognized as the first fuel, the most affordable, fastest, and cleanest energy resource available to us. It has got integrated in many ways in our national mission and policy frameworks, either whether we say Viksit Bharat or India Cooling Action Plan. And in all of these, we are expanding either the transition of energy, the efficiency, or decarbonization. While policy provides the vision, it is very, very critical that implementation in India happens at scale, and also it happens rapidly, and also it reaches every part of the country and every type of economic activity. AEEE acts as a bridge between national ambition and on-ground implementation, working at the intersection of policy, markets, finance, and technology adoption. And at AEEE, we believe that we want to be an enabler of the adoption of energy efficiency. And a lot of our work goes towards creating those ecosystems that can help all aspects of the economy to become more energy efficient. Through this flagship platform, Forum on Energy Efficiency and Decarbonization, AEEE has created a unique convergent space for stakeholders. By fostering this collaborative intelligence, FEED acts as the engine for systems transformation, ensuring that efficiency is not just a target, but the very foundation of our national energy security and decisive driver for our net zero milestones. And one of the ways energy efficiency manifests at the national level is the energy intensity of per unit economic value created. And that's a key metric at the national level for us to contribute to. So for the next 2 days, the feed is themed on energy efficiency as the engine of Viksit Bharat. It will highlight India's transition from intention to implementation to impact. Feed 2026 will explore how efficiency can power India's vision for competitiveness, resilience, and inclusive prosperity, aligning with the national goal of Viksit Bharat 2047 and the global ambition to double energy efficiency improvement by 2030. So over these 2 days, we move beyond the what and the why to focus on the how and hopefully on the milestones and create very urgent milestones for actual implementation. Day one will open with the inaugural session, and we are deeply honored by the presence of the Director General of Bureau of Energy Efficiency. Welcome, sir, to AEEE. BE has been a torchbearer in India for the energy efficiency movement, and we are honored to partner with you in your efforts, sir. After that address, it will be followed by a high-impact plenary discussion on positioning energy efficiency as a national resource. This will be a dialogue intended to reframe efficiency as a driver of economic growth and climate resilience. The day will continue with thematic panels exploring market-based instruments, subnational leadership, industrial competitiveness, cultural and behavior transformation, and the strategic role of CSR in accelerating adoption. On day two, tomorrow, we will shift focus to sector-specific pathways, including refrigerant transition, sustainable pack houses, residential EV charging, future-ready appliances, public sector efficiency financing, and scaling climate tech innovations. And this will culminate in solution-oriented conversations aimed at strengthening national energy resilience and implementation outcomes. AEEE and its member organizations are committed to fostering and driving energy efficiency as the key to India's sustainable future. And towards that, we would also like to work closely with torchbearers like BE and other institutions. I would also call on all participants of FEED to actively contribute to the discussions, and I am very, very sure that you will take away a lot of action points from the conversations, dialogues, and the networking that you do here. And finally, I'd like to thank all AEEE members for their contribution to this event, and a very, very special thanks to all our sponsors and partners who have made FEED 2026 possible. Thank you, and enjoy the sessions.
Thank you, Sanjeev, for setting the tone for FEED 2026 with the address underscoring energy efficiency as India's first fuel, which is central to Viksit Bharat at the Alliance for Energy Efficient Economy, Energy Security and Competitiveness, while calling for collective action to translate ambition into impact through strong execution and collaboration. And every one of you, I think, who are in this hall have a role to play. And we welcome, I think, your inputs, your ideas, and I think your participation in this journey. Let me now turn to the Bureau of Energy Efficiency and to its DG, Mr. Krishna Panigrahi. So as the apex authority driving India's energy efficiency agenda, the Bureau of Energy Efficiency plays a central role in shaping policies, programs, and market mechanisms that enhance energy productivity across industries, buildings, appliances, and transport. It is my distinct honor to introduce Shri Krishna Chandra Panigrahi, Director General of the Bureau of Energy Efficiency, Government of India, and a distinguished leader in energy management, operational excellence, and sustainable industrial transformation. With over 27 years of experience across energy, infrastructure, and process industries, he has built a very strong reputation for driving efficiency, reliability, and large-scale operational performance while advancing the transition towards cleaner energy systems. Panigrahi ji has been very closely associated with pioneering energy transition efforts, including one of the early hydrogen-based fuel cell demonstration projects for telecom infrastructure. His work has involved extensive engagement with policymakers and industry stakeholders to promote clean energy transition, reliability-driven engineering practices, and sustainable industrial growth, not just in India, but across the globe. I had the privilege of meeting Mr. Panigrahi, who has recently taken over as the Director General for the Bureau of Energy Efficiency. And I am very, very excited and impressed, I think, with the vision that he has portrayed in terms of how does he want to actually carry the agenda at the national level. So please join me in welcoming Shri Krishna Chandra Panigrahi, Director General of the Bureau of Energy Efficiency.
Respected friends and organizers from AEEE, policymakers, distinguished speakers, participants, good morning. Thanks for this invitation to the 6th edition of FIT 2026 and giving me an opportunity to share my views on this important topic. As rightly said by Mr. Satish, this energy efficiency is no more just a buzzword, it is a necessity and it is not an option. Of course, it was never an option. Whoever were thinking about it as an option, perhaps would have, the industries particularly, would have probably felt themselves impossible to exist in the competitive world. And I am carrying this kind of mindset coming from a corporate work culture where profitability and sustainability remains the key word for the long-term deliverables from the industry point of view to their stakeholders. So let me share my vision and my thought about this important topic. Energy efficiency as the first fuel and a key driver for the 2047 ambition of Vikasit Bharat. Presently, India's per capita energy consumption is 1/3 of the global average, which is not unknown to almost every one of you. A detailed study conducted by Ministry projects that by 2047, even as we pursue Viksit Bharat with a Human Development Index of 0.85, the per capita energy consumption will rise to 50.9 gigajoules, which is well below current level of the present level of US, China, and other OECD countries. Through adoption of mission life and energy conservation principles as in the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister, we can save 12%, reducing our energy consumption of this requirement to 44.7 gigajoules per capita by 2047. This demonstrates that, okay, we need not follow the same path or trajectory of the developed countries. That means, that we can have the comfortable and ambitious lifestyle is attainable without replicating what they followed, and thus enabling India to chart its unique Vikasit Bharat 2047 development trajectory, supported by mission life and energy conservation principles. And in terms of our commitment, our country's commitment to the rest of the world, India has made substantial progress in its energy transition and remains fully committed to its nationally determined contributions. We have already achieved 50% of non-fossil fuel installed capacity 5 years ahead of our target, and reduce our emission intensity by 36% from 2005 level, moving steadily towards our objective of 45% reduction by 2030. In line with climate ambition, India is also committed to doubling the rate of energy efficiency improvement by 2030, which is one of the foundation to net zero journey. According to IES Energy Efficiency Report, the energy intensity improvement rate of India is at 4%, which is the highest in the world. And moreover, it is the double of the global energy intensity improvement rate of 1.8% of the total world, that in 2025. In 2024-25, India's total primary energy supply, including biomass, stood at 1,061.4 million tons of oil equivalent, with coal remaining dominant source at nearly 52%, followed by oil, which is 25%, natural gas 6%, renewable energy sources, including nuclear, is 5%, and biomass contributing about 12%. Please remember, one thing is that no country has really achieved something by following entirely the other one without and forgetting that what is their strength. So each country has its own strength. So this is a number, but I would say that India has its own strength and we have to leverage on our strength and learn from the mistakes done by the other countries and not to repeat that one. Total final energy consumptions, including use of biomass during the same period, was 722 million tons of oil equivalent. The industry sector, as such, we know, accounted for the highest of that one, which is 48.3%, followed by building, 22.5%, which is including, of course, biomass, and transport, then third one, 19.5%. Agriculture, non-energy use, and other sectors together contributed the remaining of that one. So these are the three key energy consumers for us. As per the recent estimates, implementation of energy efficiency measures has resulted in energy savings of around 65 million tons of oil equivalent in 2024-25, which is equivalent to around 6% of India's total primary energy supply. And this is only data which is accounted. In my view, it would be much more than that one, which if we really start having our digitization of data, then this digital would help us out finding out it would be more than 6%. These savings translated into significant economic and environmental benefits, including cost savings of approximately 2.82 lakhs crore and a reduction of 365 million tons of carbon dioxide equivalent emissions. Those who understand about the PAT in the balance sheet of industries or corporates, this clearly goes down to the PAT, the profit after tax. In terms of implementing the energy efficiency measures in the country, states plays the key role as the implementer because energy efficiency starts from the bottom. So as part of the State Energy Efficiency Index, which is a vital tool that tracks annual state level progress, creating a framework for competitiveness where states can learn from each other. Always we need not innovate. We can learn, we can use the best practices among ourselves and quickly adapt and move forward. That is the smartness which we must use, and I am sure that in industries it is used. In the states also we have started to do that one, and we will be using this trick. Role of PSUs are also quite important in energy efficiency and its transition. Our public sector undertakings are leading the transition by developing comprehensive net zero and energy transition plans. As India's largest power producer, NTPC is setting a benchmark that goes beyond traditional plant efficiency. They are now working to transform their entire ecosystems, including townships and office complexes, into net zero entities, proving that deep decarbonization is possible across both industrial as well as civil infrastructure. We all know how the digital world is changing, how the AI is making a deep impact in our day-to-day business, and we have to adapt it If we don't, then I have seen that sooner or later we'll realize, and after 2 years we'll have to adapt it. And if not, then after 4 years we'll have to adapt it. We have no choice. We will have to adapt it. So sooner is better. In terms of transforming from manual audits to real-time management via AI and machine learning for predictive demand side management is one of the key, which will first track our, identifying the energy efficiency potentials in different sectors, industries, be it industries, buildings, or anywhere. In terms of doing mandatory smart metering, which is also one of the key requirement, because what we don't measure, we can't monitor, and what we cannot monitor, we cannot control. In that principle, by March 2025, all government offices must transition to prepaid smart meters to ensure 100% transparency in energy accounting. Thus, we can monitor and control. And in terms of grid stability, with non-fossil capacity exceeding 50%, efficiency is the primary tool for the flattening peaks and reducing stress on the grid that currently operates at an emission factor of approximately 0.71 kg per kilowatt hour. So this grid discipline also will be strongly driven by AI ML, and most of you are aware of, and this is what is the call of the time. In terms of the next steps, we have to migrate first from the energy efficiency, which is a key result, of course, in terms of carbon, the GHG emission reduction. So that means from different concepts like PAT to CCTS. So as you are aware of that, in terms of India carbon market, a mandatory era, which is as of January 2026, targets for reducing emission intensity of 490 large energy intensive industries have been notified under the carbon credit trading scheme for 7 hard to abate sectors like cement, aluminum, refinery, petrochemical, pulp and paper, textile and chloralkali. The next one will be in terms of Aditi, who will not be knowing about the acronym of Aditi. Aditi stands for Assistance in Deploying Energy Efficient Technologies in Industries and Establishments. We are aware that Indian economy will be greatly influenced by MSMEs. Their growth and the contribution of MSMEs into the Indian economy growth is imminent. And hence also the energy efficiency also plays a great role for their competitiveness. For the MSMEs, a scheme with fiscal incentive through interest subvention of 5% for micro and small and 3% for the medium enterprises has been designed to implement energy efficient technologies with proven potential to save at least 10% of energy, and in my view, it could go up to 25%. In terms of sustainable cooling, we know that global warming is putting a lot of challenges to us, and we would be needing a lot of cooling in the future. To address rising cooling demand, we have set a long-term energy efficiency trajectory for room air conditioners. The revised room air conditioner efficiency norms are already in place. From 1st January 2026, it is already there, and more stringent norms have been notified. And to be effective from 2028, even more and more stringent norms should be there and will be applicable to 2029, aligned with global benchmarks. The 2028 norms will raise the MEPS, which is one-star level energy performance, by 23% relative to the typical AC sold in the market of 2025. So 23% is quite a good, significant achievement, which I would say that is one step which I must admire to my colleagues and also to the industry fraternity in the air conditioning, manufacturing. To reduce passive cooling load in buildings, energy conservation and sustainable building code has been developed for commercial and residential buildings. That is also very important. And the last is improving efficiency of in the road transport. We are in the process of developing next phase of fuel economy norms for cars, heavy and medium duty commercial vehicles to further strengthen the framework for improving vehicle fuel efficiency. You would see that CAFE 3 will be notified very soon. The evolving standards are likely to emphasize efficiency-based approach and the adoption of advanced technologies across the vehicle segments, thus, promoting innovations in the vehicle manufacturing and particularly in the automobile ones. Now, to conclude, we have built the regulatory architecture. Now we must build the market. My challenge to the stakeholders here is the industry to move, beyond the compliance, just not look like that this is a compliance, but embrace the performance. And when we are doing the performance, that we can think about these three words: perform, connect, and innovate. So this is something which is extremely important for us. So view the Indian carbon market not as a regulatory burden, but as a revenue generating opportunity. Invest in deep retrofit technologies and AI-driven energy management today to be competitive in the global market of tomorrow. Just not within India, it is also to be outside the India. And for the financial institutions, my request would be on the climate finance must pivot towards demand side management. We need innovative financing models that recognize avoided energy as a bankable asset, standardize the risk assessment for energy efficient retrofits to unlock green investment. And to the technology provider, which is one of the key pillar again, is that focus on indigenous manufacturing. Under the Make in India, we must become the global hub for super efficient appliances and smart grid hardware. So innovation must be scalable, affordable, and suited for the unique climate challenges of the global south. With this, I wish FIT 2026 a grand success. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Krishna ji, for sharing your valuable perspectives and also throwing the gauntlet in terms of what the industry and all the participants and stakeholders present in this room need to do. Your leadership and the Bureau of Energy Efficiency sustained efforts will continue to strengthen India's energy transition and economic resilience. We sincerely appreciate your guidance, vision, and commitment to positioning energy efficiency as a cornerstone of sustainable and prosperous future for the nation. I once again thank all our members, sponsors, partners, and my team for this collaboration. I now hand over the mic back to the team. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Satish. I would like to thank Mr. Bhatia and Panireji for their warm words. We will now move to our plenary session. I would like to welcome the delegates again to our plenary